Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, it is a new month and that means we have to do a new Senate prediction for the 2024 Senate elections. There's a lot of focus on the presidential election, but down ballot counts because let's say Trump wins the election. Well, at that point, if he has a Democrat Senate and a Democrat House, he's not going to be able to really enact his agenda, which is going to cause him some problems. But the good news is for Republicans, the Senate map is super easy. Democrats have to defend plenty of seats in swing states that Donald Trump is leading in, and also in some safe red states as well. And there's really not a lot of vulnerable Republican incumbents to the point where they're in for a lot of trouble. Now, that doesn't mean Republicans are guaranteed to sweep every single competitive race, and I'm sure that they will fall short in, but still, Donald Trump has never won a state and then had a Republican Senate candidate lose in either 2016 or 2020, and while that streak very may well come to an end, his coattails will help Republicans out a lot in plenty of states and will cause Democrats to have to spend a lot of money defending a lot of key races. So without further ado, I think we fill out the safe Republican states here, and then we'll work our way down. We'll do the safe Democrat states, then the likely states, the lean states, and then the tilt states, the most competitive states. But these are states where Republicans are going to win by more than 10 points. We have Wyoming. We have Utah, North Dakota, both Nebraskas. There's going to be a potential primary challenge to Pete Ricketts there. That's going to be interesting to watch. Missouri, Hawley will hold on. Mississippi, Tennessee, Indiana, you'll get Senator Jim Banks, and West Virginia, Joe Manchin's retiring. I think it would be safe red if he wasn't retiring, which is particularly why he is indeed retiring. So, out of the gate, 48 safe for the Republicans. Democrats, on the other hand, we're going to fill out their safe states. You have California, Washington, Delaware, New Jersey, which again, Menendez is not running. If he runs as an independent, it could be interesting, but still, for right now, it's safe Dem. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, and then you have the state of New York as well. We can add that to the column. And actually Minnesota, because I think Klobuchar, she'll win by a narrower margin than her 30-point ridiculous size victory in 2018. But, you know, she'll probably win by more than 10 until further notice. Then you have the state of Hawaii. So, Democrats out of the gate, 39. That's not a really good high floor. They have to run the entire table to maintain the Senate pretty much. Now we move on to the likely Republican states. We have Florida. Rick Scott is not necessarily losing. He has a tendency of barely winning elections. That's going to end this time around. The Florida Dems are in shambles. They're hoping that this abortion referendum and weed is going to save them. But weed was on the ballot in 2016 and Trump won and Republicans won. And I think, yeah, abortion referendums, Democrats, or I guess you'd say the left has been winning on them. But at the end of the day, this is not an election that's just about that. I think you're going to have ticket splitters. People will vote for Trump at the top of the ticket, then down ballot, they will split their ticket, you name it. If they happen to be one of those more socially moderate on abortion Trump voters, which they do exist in Florida to a certain degree, but still it requires 60% for it to pass, so it still may not pass. Then Texas, Ted Cruz, I think he's going to be fine. Colin Allred, extremely overrated, not even an overperformer for the most part in his House races, and he is a much weaker candidate than Beto O'Rourke was in 2018. Of course, Beto went through his transformation, his transition, some may call it, and he just started being an open far left individual. But Colin Allred, he's got a lot of quotes on guns and fossil fuels that are basically going to render him DOA pretty much, and Dems will waste money, but Ted Cruz is still going to win by around 5 points, if not more, even if he underruns Donald Trump. So that's it for the likely Republican states. Now we'll go to the likely Democrat states. We have Maine, which Angus King will probably hold on. He may win by a safe margin. There's just so much we don't know. And Maryland, Larry Hogan is leading all the polls, but so is John Tester and Sherrod Brown, and we're going to get to them in a minute. It doesn't mean that Larry Hogan's going to win. Polarization, Democrats turning out. Hogan probably breaks 40, depending on who his opponent is. He could get it within 10, but at the end of the day, I still think it very well could be safe. safe. But for right now, just because of the polling data, we'll put Maryland likely. It's not like we're following the polls blindly, or we would have that as a flip. And we also have the state of New Mexico as well. We can put that in the likely Democrat column. So Republicans with 50, Democrats with 42. We can go on to the more competitive states. And the first contested flip of the map will be the state of Ohio. Bernie Moreno outperformed expectations vastly in the primary. The final polls had him losing. He went out there, Trump on the ballot. He won with a majority of the vote. He did best in the counties where Sherrod Brown has used to, stay in office. And Sherrod Brown is overrated. He won in 2006 for an obvious reason. In 2012, he outperformed Obama by 3 points, but he underran him in the percentage count because you had a right-leaning third party taking votes away from Josh Mandel, of all people. He's not somebody that is really all that electorally much of a juggernaut, as some people will claim. 2018, he barely won. He underperformed expectations against a candidate who basically was not running a campaign at all in Jim Renacci, and the RNC and the NRSC just gave up on that race and let Democrats have it. If you ran a stronger candidate than Renacci, you probably could have flipped that seat, but I think Moreno being aligned with Trump on the ballot, winning the state by close to 10, if not by more than that, I think that Ohio is going to go Republican at the Senate level. And the same thing with Montana as well. Jon Tester is somebody who is the most disingenuous fraud in the U.S. Senate, and now Republicans are going to be throwing a lot of money behind Tim Sheehy in order to oust him. Tester is probably in a stronger position than Brown, arguably enough, because of the fact that he has a tendency to outperform by more, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's never been on the ballot with Donald Trump, and while he does likely end up getting some ticket split voters, it's not going to be enough against the Chad Tim Sheehy in the state of Montana. So Republicans have 52 Senate seats, but we have a couple of lean Democrat seats as well. Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick, this guy is a rhino, and that we know. Bush administration official, been socially liberal. He's basically the second coming of Dr. Oz without the positive qualities of Dr. Oz. Now, it is true Trump's on the ballot. Bob Casey is not going to win by a ridiculous amount, but McCormick is the underdog, and I'm kind of afraid that they're going to throw a lot of money at this guy. This guy said that he likes outsourcing, or outsourcing is good, and he's running in Pennsylvania of all places. That's a death warrant. It's going to be really hard for him to climb out of the abyss and win that election. And then you have the state of Virginia. I believe that Hung Cao will probably lose by less than 5. He's a strong candidate, but Virginia is Virginia. I think Trump falls short in the state by like 7 to 8 points, and I think that you will see Hung Cao probably fall short by 3 to 4. So that's it for the lean states. We now have to do the tilt states, which states will go in which column. You have the state of Michigan, where Trump is up in the polls by 3.5 points. If he wins the state of Michigan by 3.5 points, Republicans do likely win this Senate seat. It's an open seat. Mike Rogers, Alyssa Slotkin, does she have a lot of crossover appeal? She's a fake moderate. She might gain some crossovers, but Mike Rogers probably also gains some in the Grand Rapids area as well, if you want to be completely honest. Might outrun Trump in Oakland County, even if he underperforms him in the rest of the state. But still, I think that Michigan is a race that we just don't know enough about. It's possible that it could flip. As of right now, I have it as tilt D. I could obviously see Mike Rogers winning. We have a long way to go. And then we have the state of Wisconsin, which Republicans are actually running a phenomenal candidate that everybody loves, whether people are from the MAGA wing or maybe the not-so-MAGA wing of the party. Everybody loves Eric Hovde because he's just genuinely a likable guy, and the attacks that they throw at him are the most ridiculous attacks ever. They call him a carpetbagger because he worked a little bit in California, but he's from Wisconsin. He's running a good campaign, in my opinion, and he's just a genuinely likable guy who fits Wisconsin well, and I think he would win by a sizable amount if his opponent was not Tammy Baldwin, because you do have a lot of those voters in the Driftless area. Down-ballot Democrats do a little bit better there, even though Trump is likely going to do well and possibly outperform his 2020 margins in that part of the state, but still, you look at it and it's just like, yeah, maybe Hovde could outrun Trump in the Milwaukee suburbs. I think he would, but would it be enough? It just depends. He's up against a lot. And if he manages to make it a close race and Trump wins the state by a point or two, yeah, I think Hovde can easily go out there and win. I just say it's tilt Dem, 55% chance right now that Tammy Baldwin hangs on. But, he's running a good campaign, so you never know if he's able to raise his profile more. I think he's got a very good shot at victory. Then we go to the state of Arizona. This is a state that Donald Trump is up in the polls by 5 percentage points. I don't think he wins it by 5. I think he wins it by maybe 1 to 2. I have it as tilt red. The Senate race, Sinema's out of the picture. There's debate. Does this help Lake? Does it not help Lake? As of right now, Lake is the underdog. Can she win? Absolutely. I think she very well could, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of ticket splitting, but we'll have to see. If she's able to go out there and emasculate Ruben Gallego, who is not a very masculine man, there's a very good chance that she will win over support. And she's running a campaign this time that still is at its core to its message a populist Trumpian campaign, but she's trying to mend fences with the establishment. But still, she's down in a lot of polls. Right now, I'd say she's the underdog. Can she win? I think she could. She does well with Hispanic voters, but Ruben Gallego, he is Hispanic himself. He is from Maricopa County. He's far left, but he's going to try to run a campaign that's like, oh, I'm a moderate, when he's really not, but he has a lot of money. But Lake is also fundraising. This is a tough one for me, but as of right now, I say Lake is the slight underdog, but that is subject to change. I think that's a pure toss-up, a toss-up of all toss-ups, and so is Nevada. But I think because you will see Trump win, and because Jackie Rosen is an incumbent that has very low name recognition and funding will matter less down ballot in a presidential year, I think Republicans will flip that Senate seat, whether if it's with Jeff Gunter or it's with Sam Brown. I think that either one of those candidates could go out there and win, and that would put Republicans at 53 Senate seats and Democrats at 47. So this is the current map, and a lot is subject to change. I think any of those 4 seats could go either way at the end of the day. Republicans have a ceiling of 56. I think they have a floor of 52. Right now, we'll give them 53, but we'll see what happens. Comment down below what you would change. I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say about this map. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Like this video down below. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.